Hey, what's up, everybody? We're back. We're live, and we're looking at our phones, and we're sharing links, and we're doing that whole thing. But the Wild Wild West show is back, and we're on the eternal mission to find out
Hell
who
yeah.
the fuck is Ray West. Do you know?
And it was like you, bro. It's funny because I somebody said to me, "Gonna get back to get you rocking and figure out who the fuck Ray West is." Which is great, man. I just started as a hashtag, but it's cool, man. It's made me really question myself and what I'm doing. It's like, why am I doing this? You know what I mean? Because it's like,
Well,
and I explained. Actually, I wrote somebody today.
you realize now that's a whole like you need to start a whole merchandising line. Who the fuck is Ray West?
Dude, I hope it comes to that. But I made a note of something because really, music allows me the most. Music allows me to be my most authentic self. It lets me release all my true emotions, raw emotions. Sometimes it's scream therapy for me, and sometimes it's not. I can show anger, I can show sadness, my longer human connection, basically to be my true self. I get it. Like I had this whole like I was on the plane, and I'm like, what really brings me joy?
Hmm.
And it really it's like is and you have to ask yourself. I think it's because I'm traveling a lot, and sometimes I'm just exhausted, and I'm just like,
Sure.
what am I doing? Why am I doing? And then I get to the box, and there's Rob, and there's Johnny, and there's Ricky, and this, and I truly believe I can be my true authentic self because I'm able to. You can't just walk around screaming at people, so it's
You can.
well you can, but you get
You
arrested.
can.
Like it's like it's you can scream, right? And and it's a meditation because you're taking in oxygen, you're singing, you're taking in air. It's great, but there's all that stuff. There's great sadness in songs, there's great longing in songs, and there's a lot of like screaming, and there's a lot of anger, and it lets me like uh, channel my anger.
Yeah.
So as far as who is Ray West, it's a dude that really can. It's Ray West is about expressing himself like as honest and authentic as possible, And this gives me the vehicle to do that. And we talked about this before, but when I did it back in the day, I walked away from it because I didn't feel I wasn't my true authentic self back in the day.
Right.
But you learn that because you leave something you love, you don't know why. You're young, you're stupid, you go through all this shit, and then now I realize I appreciate what I'm trying to do. And so who the fuck is Ray West? Ray West is a very expressive cat that also, is a parent and all this other good shit.
As you say that, if you think about it, it's almost like like that ultimate love story. Where it's always said like, if you truly love somebody and you set them free and it comes back to you, it was meant to be. Well, that's that like you with music, kind of,
That's
or
good.
spread eagle.
Yeah, I just didn't nurture it. Like I said before, I didn't nurture it. I didn't care. But I don't know why. I had maybe this huge insecurity, whatever the fuck it was. So it
Mhm.
has drugs and all that stuff, like and almost like not being nostalgic about anything. I just buried it.
Right.
And then you have these life experiences, and I've had time away from it. And when you're away from something so much, you really learn to appreciate it when you get it. So now I
Right.
really appreciate, especially this weekend, there were some young kids that came up, and they were like really into. Like, oh yeah, young folks up front. That's my thing about passing this on. We do this ancient art form, but there was people that were on the up and comings again. So I'm meeting people that connect with this band in a major way, and it blows my mind when they're young, they're looking at you like, yeah, and they just say the right things, and they ask very cool questions. It's not just bullshit. It's not just some picture in a post. It was really it's a great connection, man. I feel there's something. I'm still discovering it, though. You know,
Do you think it's even part of it too? Like, I'm sure you probably went through many years where you never thought to yourself, especially, you were still doing music here and there and sometimes more serious than others, but, um, you know, spread eagle, let's face it, in my opinion, I think that's your deep down, your true heart and soul and your baby. Like, do you think it was the fact that you never thought it would probably happen again?
yeah, I did. I just you kind of like bury it. It's gone. I think over the years, I tried to resurrect it with Rob, and there was times we didn't do it. But I know what it brings me now. I'm awake. I'm not no longer buried under a ton of fucking drugs anymore, and it really
Right.
matters. I know that this band is really good. There's a billion bands in the world. Why should they come and see mine? Because it's authentic. It's real. Everybody in the band really cares about each other, and
Right.
that creates a safe space in the room. So whether you've had a shit day with whatever the fuck, you connect with this band on a musical level, a lyrical level, just the vibe that's created in the room. You know what I mean? It's a very high energy, positive experience.
Right.
I'm like a preacher, but it really does create that kind of vibe. And you watch it work with people, and the audience does their thing, and they bring whatever that part of the conversation is back, and it's such a real, genuine thing, man. So it's this great thing that I didn't really appreciate when I was younger because it just got given to me so fast.
Yeah.
We got to do it really quick, and then when you're away from it for so long, you try so many different things. It's just your true self. It's like Spread Eagle was my true self because Paul, Rob, Tommy, everybody in production allowed me to be myself on those records. But for some reason, I just felt like I had to bury it. I felt like it was such a I left it. It didn't work. MCA wasn't doing what they should have done for us. I felt like a failure because I didn't follow through on it. I walked away. I'm the one that walked away from the
Right.
and I left everybody in the fucking, well, Ray, man, now what are we gonna do? And I just assumed they could find another thing, whatever the fuck they wanted to do.
Right.
And out that that it was cool, and Rob really loves me and stuck by me, and that's a big part of it too. The loop has been around a lot, and he knows a lot of great singers.
Mm.
So for me to kind of be in his orbit and him heap such praise on me is a trip, man. It's a lot of pressure, but it's a trip, So I guess what I'm trying to say is I really appreciate it more now.
Was there any time, because I know with me with my wrestling career, there was a time where I walked away, and I didn't like situations that I was in and the way I was being treated and handled, and I walked away, and I became very angry and resentful towards the business as a whole, and turned my back on the business for about 4 or 5 years, and then it was like the famous scene from The Godfather. Just when they think you're out, they pull me back in. It was that exact thing.
I wasn't mature.
Yeah.
I wasn't a mentally mature person. I was just a screaming machine, and I thought I had to be something. I thought I had to be something somebody else wanted. I wasn't true to myself.
Right.
So when that happens, you're never going to be happy, dude. So you have to be. So now I find myself in my own. I'm in a good place. My voice is feeling good, man. So like
Nice.
the crisis of calm. We talk about it all the time. That shit's all past. Because now I got my in-ears. I got on the way I like them. So now like my whole style of singing is coming back to me because I can hear everything. And
Nice.
high end, you kind of got to hear it. Any singer will tell you that. When you go out live, you're pushing so much air that you sing flat.
Sure.
Because you're trying to hear yourself in the monitors. With in-ears, it's like it's right there. It's like listening to a CD and part of it.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought up something, and this was something, a question or a topic that I didn't even have on my list, but you just said something that sparked something the other day, and I've been saying this past week with people I've talked to about this situation. Um, Vince Neil from Motley Crue. He's been ragged on, the last 10, 15 years for his singing and his voice live. And I guess last weekend he did a couple solo dates, and he's got his backing band, Dana Strum and the guys from Slaughter backing him up. And like when I wanted to see the clip to see, because I know they're getting ready to launch, I think, the next week or two, their new world tour with Def Leppard this year that they're doing.
And I saw the promo shots with Johnny Five. Look good.
They look great, yeah.
Happy.
So, yeah, right. So when I saw the video, I said to myself, like his voice, his voice is there in my opinion. Like I think he sounded good, but I think the problem is, and I'm not a singer, but he sounded like he was like no breath, no air, and he was like out of breath. And it was a smaller stage than he's used to compared to these stadium stages, but I think that's a big part of his problem. He's just, and that's another problem that we know he's had is his weight and his conditioning. So do you think that could be a big part of Vince's vocal problems?
If you're not, and I've talked about this before, if you're not in good physical shape, if your lungs aren't conditioned, if you're not conditioning yourself, then you
Right.
hard time. It doesn't matter who you are.
Hmm.
If you run, it's me because I know what I do. I
Right.
when I can every other day. I don't do it every day. I'm not fucking
Yeah.
crazy. I put on a I go for my interval jog, whatever the fuck you want to call it, and I put on the tracks. If I can run the whole set and be okay afterwards, then I got a good barometer of where I'm at.
Right.
Right. So it is a lot of it's breathing. It is technique. When you go take vocal lessons, it's about how you take in air, how you hold it, how you use it. You know,
Mm.
and maybe when you're on a big stage like that, maybe concentration go out the window. I don't know. Everybody has a different mental thing, but
True.
it's technique and bad habits. I'm learning, still learning how to break bad habits, and
Wow.
I've been doing this a long time, and I still have bad habits that I break.
Sure.
Yeah, man, you're gonna have tonalities. You're never gonna sound like you did when you were in your 20s if you're in your 50s. It's just not going to happen. But what
Yeah.
you do is you can learn where to place your voice so that your notes are there. Maybe some of the tonalities are different, but the notes are there. People are looking at me. We have a song called Broken City, and people are looking at me to do things. And I saw it this past weekend, so I hit some notes. People are like, yeah, look, he did it, man. You see it? I saw him do it. I saw the fucking. They're like, we could do it. Maybe that's in the back. Maybe it's fucking with him. I don't know. But you're not the same singer you were
Yeah.
unless you're doing it every single day.
Hmm.
If you really work the art and you don't drink and you stay healthy and all that kind of shit, so many different things come into play. A million
Hmm.
things can happen to you while you're on stage to not make you be in the moment with the note. You can have something mental take you out of focus, and you're not going to hit your note. You could be looking at someone, maybe he's giving you a hard look, and you give it too much attention, and you're going to lose your step. You
Right.
you might have headbanged way too much during the song or run around too much, so you're going
Hmm.
to hit it. So I learned it maybe with everything. It's about pacing.
Right.
Pacing. It's Vince Neil's. He's Vince Neil, bro. He's fucking sold zillions of fucking records. It's Vince Neil. You do what the fuck he wants.
Yeah.
But at some point, the audience is going to demand for you to be on point.
Yeah.
So it's like anybody else. It's like I have spent years getting away with shit live.
Mm.
And then only now that I'm in my past, year and a half really too, that we've been cranking this up again. I've been working hard at it, like we talked about last time.
Right.
Hard to be just toneful and to be mindful of and respect the songs.
Yeah.
Because people are there they give a lot of the songs weight, and they you can see in their faces when they come to see you play. Some people
Mm.
they just want to have a good time, and some people are really listening.
Yeah.
Listen to how you perform, but it's really just about being true, being honest. So I'm sure Vince Neil is connecting with his lyrics and his melodies, and it's not thinking about the outside world. He'll just sing the songs and do his thing. That's all you can ask for. You want a singer to be present. You
Do
know,
you, do you think those people that are paying attention? Do you think they're the musicians in the crowd over?
the fucking haters. They're the people do anything with their lives, and so they feel because it's a reality TV based world that their opinion matters. So
Right.
they get on the fucking internet and typey with no sort of consequence, and they're there, and that's it. Go fuck yourself. Sucks, man.
Ah,
You know. What was the thing someone said about me was great. I came because of the hype, and then I left. Something like that. It was bad. Look, we live in a time where the people that are hardcore supporters, come up front. They come and see the band. Everybody
mhm.
else, kind of like last days ago, are looking at them. He's all in the back of the room.
Right.
And you play to everybody, but these are your people. The people that are up front are your hardcore supporters, and you play.
Right.
And if it's good with them and it resonates, it goes to the back of the room.
There you go. Well, Tonight's show, I titled it "No More Tours" because the big news, probably in the
Oh,
hard rock community,
what were you gonna
that
say?
that came out last week, is the official announcement, the sad official announcement, which I mean, I'm sure most of us all expected this, but it was officially announced with a letter from the man himself, Mr. Ozzy Osbourne, that he can officially no longer tour, and even live shows probably are never going to happen again for him. It's going to be possibly, maybe one final somehow farewell show they'll do. But I wanted to read the letter that Ozzy wrote to the fans. It says, "This is probably one of the hardest things I've ever had to share with my loyal fans. As you may all know, 4 years ago this month, I had a major accident where I damaged my spine. My my one my one and only purpose during this time has been to get back on stage. My singing voice is fine. However, after 3 operations, stem cell treatments, endless physical therapy sessions, and most recently groundbreaking cybergenics treatment, my body is still physically weak. I am honestly humbled by the way you've all patiently held on to your tickets for all this time, but in all good conscience, I have now come to the realization that I am not physically capable of doing my upcoming European UK tour dates, as I know I couldn't deal with the travel required. Believe me when I say that the thought of disappointing my fans really fucks me up more than you will ever know." Like, I want to cry reading this. I mean, seriously. Um, Never would I have imagined that my touring days would have ended this way. My team is currently coming up with an idea for where I'll be able to tour, or I'll be able to perform without having to travel from city to city or country to country. I want to thank my family, my band, my crew, my longtime friends, Judas Priest, and of course my fans for their endless dedication, loyalty, and support, for giving me the life I've never ever dreamed of I would ever have. I love you all.
Yeah, it's heavy. Think of how long. Think about how long Ozzy's been in our lives since we were kids.
Over 50 years.
Growing up with the member of your family. We talked about this when we talked about like Eddie Van Halen and stuff. But this is Eddie Van Halen is it was a death. So
Yeah.
Ozzy, this is like you have to mourn it. And all the people that love Ozzy but ignored Ozzy because they were just too busy with other shit and other bands because Ozzy wasn't around. They're not,
Yeah.
now they're going to be like, oh my God, I really, I remember when. Okay, great. So if Ozzy affected them in a great positive way, that's awesome. You know what I mean? Think about it, man. The guy has dedicated his life. To him, it was a fluke that he became famous, right? So first of all, he's cool about it. He went in. They did this cool thing by chance. They wrote a dark thing and called it Black Sabbath, and luck came into play, and the thing that was the gift for him lifted him, and he became huge. Sabbath, Ozzy. Remember, they fired Ozzy,
Right.
and even though they fired him, maybe they still maintained the friendships. Obviously, it's a business. But Ozzy, man, to lose Ozzy to your performance means, there's no more like Ozfest with Ozzy, right? And that's a part of it because he's the godfather of this thing. He's so responsible for so much
Yeah.
heavy rock and roll vibe.
Yeah.
Because Ozzy's rock and roll, whatever. I don't genreify him. Ozzy's like larger than life. So Ozzy represents, what is the heavier side of rock and roll.
Hmm.
I mean, so and can you imagine your life is spent performing in front of thousands of people, giving them this great positive thing, this great vibe that they give back, and it's like a drug, and you don't get it. It drives you to drink and drugs, and you don't have it.
Sure.
You're not getting that high all the time. And now he's at a point in his life where he's just happy to be straight up and on 2 feet. Like we all are. So Ozzy will obviously he'll still be around. He just won't have his. We don't have him performing anymore, and I'm sure it hurts really bad because I know
Yeah.
I would feel right now if I couldn't do this anymore.
Hmm.
Because it becomes part of your makeup, like it becomes part
Yeah.
of who you are, like and it is part of it. It's about what Ozzy's upset about probably. He doesn't get that connection that he used to have. because you're connecting with this, you're dialing to this frequency with the people that love you, and
Right.
it elevates you and takes you to this place where again you become present in that. You don't the world falls away.
Mm-hmm.
So hopefully, without hopefully his life without performing will fulfill it with other things to bring him that kind of joy. But you can't match that. You can't match it.
Yeah.
Most people say, "Oh, it's better than sex, man," because when a room full of people are giving you love, and it's real, then there's nothing like that. So
Yeah.
I can't imagine that because I walked away from it. You know, so I can't even imagine, man. I didn't care about it, and then I learned I care about it so much now that if I lost it,
Mm.
I don't know what I did. I honestly don't know what I did because people have been propping me up for the past months, and I've been really lucky. I've been really lucky. The show doesn't have to be epic. It's just about being in the room and being present and just giving to people. Like they want a thing from you, fucking give it to them.
Yeah.
You give it to them, you're gonna get it back. Ozzy gives it every time. It's just his manners, the way he is, with the audience, all the things that we love, all the fucking hand clapping, all the fucking oh yes, and
Right.
and I love you, and I fucking beat the fucking I love yous, man. That shit's real. When he
Mm-hmm.
says I fucking love you, it's because it's genuine. So he's got great memories, that's for sure, of rock and roll. But it's hard to see Ozzy retire because of a medical condition, not because of his.
Yeah.
I just want to go and live in the woods somewhere and just be quiet. This is like it's like the David Lee Roth speech. It was all
Right.
that was hard to listen to. So I think
Mm-hmm.
it's probably easier to read it than to have Ozzy say it.
Yeah.
Because when I heard David Lee Roth, that shit fucking tore me up because he was brought to tears. It seems like. So I feel terrible. It's Ozzy, man. It's like you can't lose Ozzy.
I mean, I'll be straight up dead honest, right? Like still right now after reading it, I'm like I'm fighting tears. Like
Mm.
Ozzy was, I mean, he's probably been like he's fucking Ozzy, right? He's probably been the pinnacle for me for so many years, and um, I mean the music, whether it was Sabbath or solo, and I gotta say, I don't know if you've heard his last two albums he's done. I think they're the best music he's made since Randy Rhoads.
Yeah, the Patient Nine. Yeah, 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 yeah. And he's got great people in it. Once again with the technology in the studios now,
Hmm.
whatever faults are in his voice from years of abuse or whatever,
Yeah.
strong. He's strong. The thing about Ozzy is his signal live is really distinct, unique, and
Hmm.
strong. And
Yeah.
and I've talked about this before. There's a tone everybody has.
Yeah.
If you're kind of got your own little sound, it's this little pocket of air in the middle.
Hmm.
All the stuff around it. Now all the stuff around it can go, but that middle thing still stays.
Yeah.
That middle tone, and that's Ozzy. That's there's no one like him. There won't be anybody like him ever because
Yeah.
he's the godfather of what we do, which is the heavier side of rock. Then there's that sounds like bullshit when I say it because when I listen to Stone Satisfaction or To the Devil, that's fucking heavy too.
You know what's crazy? And we've talked about. I don't want to get in a whole thing on this topic. 'Cause we've beaten this topic up a lot, but there's a friend of mine who I went to high school with back in the Philadelphia area, and he does an Ozzy tribute. He's actually he. It's funny. Like I've known him since high school. He's actually truly a huge Dio fan, and he did like a little Dio side thing, tribute thing he does. But he started doing like 4 or 5 years ago an Ozzy tribute. The guy draws fucking a couple thousand people when he fucking performs. And now he's doing the Dio thing too. And like, I mean, he's fucking drawing people like crazy off Ozzy and Dio. But
Yeah,
even that, like, even all these people that do these Ozzy tributes, they're somebody can do a Motley Crue tribute and sound like Vince Neil. You'll never hear anybody, like you said, sound like Ozzy.
you can you can mimic someone all you want to,
Yeah,
but we're losing Ozzy.
yeah.
And so, yeah, like I said, tribute bands are theater.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to go out and watch theater, good for you. If it's a good tribute band, great. I see no, like I said, man, I'm not a tribute band guy, but I do have friends that do it. And I understand why they do it. It's a tribute
Yeah.
to them. I respect that. If you pay real tribute, and that makes sense too. Then we have Spinal Taps of the world, and the fucking Steel Panthers that do a whole different parody, But
Right.
tribute band, that's theater too. Good theater. Ozzy's always great theater. So if
Mm-hmm.
someone does it in the right way, sure, man. But losing Ozzy fucking sucks.
There was actually after a day or two after the letter came out, paparazzi got some pictures of Ozzy going to a doctor's appointment, and he just didn't look. He did not look good. He looked crippled. And he's got his cane, but like his legs looked like they were going inward, and like he did not look like he was in good shape. Which I mean, he's 74, 75 years old. I mean, his hair is almost all gray and white now, and
Yeah, I would still protect him at all. I would protect him at all costs. Where I wouldn't want anybody taking pictures of that because I think he should be protected off because he's a fucking treasure. And
yeah,
people that take photos of him and put him out, they should be shot
yeah, yeah.
because they're fucking with something that's sacred, and very special. And I
Hmm.
don't,
Yeah.
obviously, I don't like any people that just spend their lives to take a photo of someone to bring them down is fucked up. Whether it's a photo, whether it's a recording, like whatever.
Right.
I think it's bad. It's Ozzy. Don't fuck with Ozzy. Leave him alone. We still remember Ozzy, but there's people out there that like to fuck with
Too like. And I didn't even think about this until you started talking about it. Um, we all just think it's Ozzy, and it's hard to actually picture Ozzy the human, the real person. But I mean, I get you. I mean, I would guarantee this is destroying that guy inside and breaking him up. That he's been fighting so much to try to get back on stage, and now he pretty much can't.
it. Yeah, because you can't battle time, man. Time is like there's time and all the shit that goes on with it.
Yeah,
Parkinson's is a motherfucker.
yeah,
It breaks you down.
yeah,
My Susie's father died of Parkinson's. He had a rough time. It's just cruel. The way the cancer is cruel, the way any sort of deadly disease is cruel, but the way it
yeah,
takes the body and breaks it down, and no one's immune. Doesn't matter who you are. Fucking Ozzy got fucking Parkinson's. That's
right.
fucked up. Fucked up. You would think enough money could be spent in the research but it's just not. It's just man can't fight all that shit.
Yeah,
And maybe in 20 years time, 30 years time, we'll have some insight into how you like beat these fucking cruel diseases. But the cancer is going to be a long way off because
yeah,
they talk all this shit like they got it going on. It's still a long way off. We're going to have that for years to come. It's sad to say. It's it's a high percentage of people. But let's get back to Ozzy because that's what we're talking about. So I love Ozzy. We love
mm,
Ozzy. People on the face of the earth, unless they're stupid, love Ozzy because
mm,
he gave birth to something cool, and he didn't give birth to something that was contrived. He did it just. It was a natural progression. They like this is cool. Let's try this, and it worked. It wasn't like well, we're going to be this kind of band, and that's what we're going to do from day one. That's not how Ozzy seems like this really humble, great, cool cat.
yeah. I'll tell you on the not the Patient Number 9 album, but the album he did before that. I forget what it was called, but the song he did with Elton John. Every time I hear it, just tears me up, and I start crying. And I think he did two songs with Post Malone. I think are just absolutely fucking phenomenal.
I listened to him. I'm ashamed I listened to him. But fucking Ozzy, dude.
Yeah,
It's the first live song I ever sang with a band, my baby band, was fucking Paranoid.
really.
Yeah, man. It was at an outdoor. It was at an outdoor. It was a ballpark by my house. A place called Sunrise, Florida. We had these cool battle bands all the time. Like once a year, this ballpark, lots of people.
Mm-hmm.
It was epic, man. And then rolling out, and I thought I was the coolest dude in the world. I sang, oh, it's just that song. You just get on there. It was like, man, this is what it feels like to be a badass. You know what I mean? I can only imagine to be the person that recorded that and then got to go sing that feeling, or the
Right.
feeling of the band when you write something like that in the studio and you hear the mix back for the first time. You're all smoking dope, they elevate, you hear it like, whoa. It's like,
Right.
that had to blow his fucking mind. It's sad. It's sad that we're losing Ozzy as far as a performer.
Yeah.
Because no matter what, he could, I believe if you took his legs away, he would still have gone out there and rock and roll to find a way to
Yeah.
stage.
I agree. So another there's some happenings we had from this past week. Actually, the Grammys were this past the
You
other
mean
night. The what?
grandmas?
The grandmas. What is your feelings on the Grammys?
I don't think it involves rock and roll anymore the way it should. I think it's a cult. I think it's a culture awards. It's
Right.
a culture awards, bro. It's pop music and television is geared towards advertising towards the young people, right? So it's always like that. It's always about and here's a Cleopatra Smedlock with her new pop hit, and Ja Rule is on there, and fucking Kendrick Lamar's on. Kendrick Lamar's a badass. Kendrick Lamar's a fucking badass. Let me backtrack. I just think it's a pop, country, hip hop award show.
Right.
Award
Well,
shows.
Rock doesn't even get. I mean, they like make an announcement during a commercial now.
Yeah, remember it used to be like and while before the awards show, these awards were given out. Now it's like heavy metal's given out like in the afternoon or some shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean the Grammys got stupid when Jethro Tull received an award and it should have been
Metallica.
like,
Yeah.
everybody's just like, uh-oh, that's your I'm like, this is bullshit. So it's great to be on there, I'm sure, and be on and have that kind of popularity and weight because that brings a lot of money, and we all love money, right? So I think the Grammy Awards are shit. I want to make sure I'm politically correct because I want to be as polite, politically correct as I possibly can. Shit.
So, well, it seems like I have not watched the Grammy Awards in probably 30 years.
Come on.
So, but it seems like it seems like Song of the Year this year kind of had like a Jethro Tull Metallica moment where Bonnie Raitt won Song of the Year. And I like was looking this up before we went live. I'm like, I didn't even know Bonnie Raitt had new music out. I had no idea. And she beat out, I mean, she beat out the top pop stars in the business. She beat out Taylor Swift. She beat out Beyonce, Harry Styles, and Lizzo.
She beat out Taylor Swift.
She beat out Taylor Swift.
Like I said, man, this show doesn't know what it wants to be. I don't watch it. It's a joke. It's like sugar. All right, the Grammys is like taking your hand a big bowl of sugar, just stuff it in your fucking face. Right? It's not good for you. It's pretty. It's not good for you. I know I sound like the fucking angry fucking what was me, I'm not on there guy. And it's just that we've grown up with it.
Yeah.
We've watched it change over the years. There is no like best live rock category. What the fuck is that?
Yeah.
I explained to everyone now I'm preaching about the fact that rock is underground.
Mm-hmm.
We live in a pop country hip hop music culture. Look, I love some hip hop, man. You kidding me? I love good country. I love Glenn Campbell. I love all that shit. Johnny Cash. I like great pop music. I love Post Malone. I think Post Malone's fucking awesome. And anybody who doesn't, go fuck yourself. I think it's fucking awesome. And rock and roll is just underground. It's become like the same. We always go back to these conversations. Rock and roll is the thing. It's an ancient. It feels like it's an ancient art form that has to be brought back. God bless the Red Hot Chili Peppers and all these bands. It's still Greta Van Fleet that goes out without tracks. All these cool bands, Ride the Suns, whatever. Mm-hmm. People that aren't running tracks because bands that run tracks and want to be perfect go out there. It's killed the live rock show, I think, a little bit. It's watered down. And so when people see a really good live band, they're like, "Oh my god, that's what it's supposed to be like." We go back to a la Van Halen, all
Mm-hmm.
'84 shit. We go back to Kiss. It's I mean, so many good fucking things. Nazareth. It goes on and on. AC/DC, Guns N' Roses,
Mm-hmm.
Motley Crue back in the day. No tracks.
Oh,
Now, so to me, I don't know. The Grammys, not something that turns me on anymore. It used to, like maybe like 10 years ago, I would still be like, "Oh, the Grammys are on. I'll tune in." But I'm so jaded with the whole fucking thing. It's just because I'm a jaded prick about it. That's all.
well, with the whole Grammys thing, going back to this Bonnie Raitt song, I actually listened to the song. I mean, it's got that old school country feel, and it's just a just slow, like depressing sounding song. I listened to it. And I was like, was 2022 that sad of a year? Did I miss something? Like,
Yeah,
is this is if this is representing the song of the year? 2022 was a bad fucking year.
artist that should carry everything in the Grammys from here. If she does it, that's Sade. When Sade puts out her record, I vote that shit. It'll be the Sade. What she should do, she should perform, she should present, and she should be in the audience. She should be everywhere. Sade. I'm just not a fan of the Grammys. I think it's all that. The bill, just the fact. Okay, the Billboard Music Awards.
hmm
Another one. It's all about who's charting and who's making money.
Yeah.
It's award shows that are like to give yourselves a pat on the back. Award shows are not for the audience really. It seems like it's just let's pat ourselves on the back. Yeah.
I think the best award show moment was back in the early '90s when Slash and Duff showed up, shit faced drunk, and were just cursing. And they were like, "Oh, like fuck this," and we can't say that. Like, I thought that was the best moment because it was just so real and true and hysterical. And also, too, I thought it was great for rock and roll because it showed the bad boy side of rock and roll, which I think the world of rock is missing so badly now because now all the bad boy stuff is all hip hop stuff.
Yeah, the cancel culture is a big part of it. You can't say that. You can't do that.
Yeah.
So I'm telling you, as I do these shows and with my own little band traveling the country, I preach, man. You got to be loud. You got to be heard. We're in this room, but we got to make a lot of noise.
Right.
So I want you guys to leave and make as much noise as possible because this shouldn't be fading out. And I tell everybody, rock and roll isn't dead because I've been in the rooms. People show up.
Mm-hmm.
And now people are I see younger folks at the shows, and that's really inspiring. Really fucking inspiring, man. So, Brando's friends. Brando was like 15 or 16. He was like, yeah, man, right, I was telling my friends about the music I like, and they were like, who is that? What is that? Like, what is Van Halen? They didn't know what the fuck it was. I'm like, don't be with those friends. They're terrible. Not good people. They don't listen to people. It's not rock and roll. Right? We grew up. It was this cool, dangerous thing.
Yeah.
And as you get older, you appreciate that it's just more than that. It's about it makes you feel a certain way. It's a state of mind. Rock and roll is a state of mind. It's freedom, right?
Yeah.
It's freedom. It's about everything that's loose. It's about going to the beach. It's about going to the mountains. It's about skiing. It's about swimming. It's freedom. It's a not letting everything fly. No consequences, but can't get arrested. That's different. It's really, man. I would love to watch the Grammys if I felt it was worth watching. If they really put fans, if they took everybody that was on Ozfest and put them on the Grammys, a different dude set. Made it more rock and roll. Let's put Korn back on the Grammys. Let's put Smack back in there. Let's do that. I like that.
What would have been funny?
Grammys.
It would have been funny to have us do like watching the Grammys live and do reaction video to it.
Yeah, do that. Whatever award show, we should do that. We should do that. Just like Eli and Peyton football, you should do that. You know what I mean? By the way, going to the bowl.
Go Birds!
Good. I was
Come on.
we were Western Jersey or something last week. Mount Holly.
Holly.
It's an Eagles. It's a Philly
Eagles territory. It's my old stomping grounds.
And people were just like fucking juiced. That they were so juiced about, so jacked. And I watched the game. And I was like, wow, they crushed.
Oh, that's right. That was when the game was on, when they won to go to the Super Bowl. Yeah.
Yes, they crushed that 49ers defense, man. I couldn't believe it. You know. Anyway, back to rock and roll. I'm not a fan of the grandmas. The grandmas.
The grandmas.
The grandmas. It's only fit for a grandma to watch now. You know,
well, a couple little tidbits of I'll say one is a news story. A couple other things are just gossip. The news story is another sad bit of news for the music business, which we kind of probably again all expected. Mick Fleetwood, in an interview, said that Fleetwood Mac is officially no more without Christine McVie.
That's an easy one, man. Because she was the cool member of the band. You know, Stevie Nicks was cool and dark and mysterious. Whatever. But Christine McVie has that cool, beautiful, smoky voice. That made her that. If it wasn't for her, that band would not sound as cool as it is.
Yeah.
You know, she's the glue that holds all the voices together that sing. And I didn't expect that either. But obviously you don't hear about these people getting ill or because they keep to themselves. You don't hear about them.
Yeah.
Rock and roll folks are very proud people. They don't want. I'm fine, man. I'm fine. Just let me rock. I'm fine. It's like it's sad, man. That really got me.
Yeah.
Because you hear, Fleetwood Mac is another part of the fucking fabric of our rock and roll DNA. It's the smoother side of rock. But man, I saw Fleetwood Mac in Tampa, and it was like turning on the radio. They sounded so good live.
Really?
I've ever heard live, the mix. It's a lot of bands. Fleetwood Mac, Tool, great fucking when I saw them live. But the sound of Fleetwood Mac live, and she's my favorite voice in the band. People thinking he's Stevie Nicks, but
wow,
she's just so smooth, man. The other one, wait a minute, baby. I love when it's Stevie Nicks, man.
I love Stevie Nicks.
Her, I don't know. They swap, all that stuff. I'm in the right about it. Self-sustaining drama. They won the Grammy Awards when it was the Grammy Award.
Yeah.
I say grandmas because it's just safe. It's just not even like there's not even any dangerous hip hop acts on it. You know what I mean?
Well, some I guess the biggest piece of drama or news that was really come out of the Grammys was, I don't know if you've seen the pictures, but the pictures were flying around, especially the world of TikTok. J-Lo and her husband were there in attendance, Mr. Ben Affleck. And in every picture that was taken of the couple or just of Ben did not look happy. Ben looked like he wanted to be anywhere but there. He looked very disgusted and just it seems like there's a lot of trouble in that paradise, because I know in other events recently over the last couple months, there's been a lot of unpleasant pictures of the two of them.
I don't know anything about. I just know I would imagine if I was, he's an actor's actor now. He's just that dude just got better over the years, which is crazy. Because I wasn't a Ben Affleck fan in the beginning. You hear a lot of dudes like, I wasn't a fan of his in the beginning. Now he's fucking amazing.
Except for being Batman.
Yeah, right. But you're an actor. I thought he was really funny. You're an actor in a music celebration.
Yeah.
I'd be bored to death if I was fucking him. You know what I mean? Now his wife, she's J-Lo, so she's involved with this guy and that guy that she's had, in her career. So it must be it's probably different. I bet you he was just bored. We really got to do this. Let's fucking go. And I don't know. They're married. They divorce. They remarry. I don't know, man. It's a crazy world, dude.
And well, the fucked up thing. I mean, You see, that's another thing with this world we're living in. Everybody's got their fucking phones, especially on people like that. So there was a video, not from the Grammys, but the last event they were at, where Ben has an alcohol problem, and supposedly there was like a drink there, and J Lo came over to him and was like grabbed the drink and was like saying to him, "Are you drinking?" And you can see that's what she says to him, and he's like, "No, I'm not drinking." And she like smelled it and tasted it and just gave him a look. I mean, it's like, yeah, oh yeah,
Yeah. Where are we going with this shit? Where is this going? Someone is going to take somebody out. There's going to be a purge of people someone's gonna take somebody out. Someone's gonna piss somebody off. They're gonna point the camera the wrong way. Someone's gonna lose their fucking mind. Someone's gonna go to jail.
yeah.
Things are gonna get violent. That's what I think. I mean extreme. I think nobody wants a camera in their face. Nobody wants every moment. Yes, if you're a celebrity, the images you make become public.
Right.
You work on those and you get paid for it. You get paid to create an art. And there's this other art form that's happening. You just put the camera in someone's face, you're paparazzi fucking superstar. And someone's gonna get hurt, man. Princess Diana already got hurt.
You would have think at that point something would have changed. It got worse.
Because things always ramp up, man. If something's easy to do, everybody wants to do it.
Yeah.
And someone's gonna want to be the best. We lost Robbie Knievel, right? So who's the next? There's always somebody waiting to do it better, harder, faster, more dangerous.
Yeah.
So we live in it's a drag that Ben Affleck and J Lo have all their shit laid out in media, and the media loves it, and the people that stand in supermarket lines to pick up those magazines, they love it too. There's a market for it. We live in a reality TV based world.
Mm-hmm.
Everything we do, everybody wants to be connected like that. So there's no more of that. We're doing shows, and again, it happened. Everybody's got their cameras out. I don't fight it anymore. I just know that I say something about it. It makes me feel better for saying something, and it's out there.
Yeah. You brought up Robbie Knievel. I did a tribute show to Robbie a couple weeks ago, and I was just actually a couple hours ago. I've been all day texting back and forth with Robbie's daughter, Kristen. She wants me to do an interview with her. She wants to like sit down and talk about her father. She wants to share stories for everybody. And I told her, I said, look, man, my heart breaks for you. Like I know what you're going through, and I wish I could just say it gets easier, but the reality of it is it really doesn't. You just learn to live, but don't let anybody ever like try to tell you or anything how to grieve or anything. You do what you got to do. Like if you feel like you need to come on and you want to talk and do an interview, okay, yeah.
This keeps nibbling on everything.
Yeah. Look at this.
It's cute though. That's cool, man. I mean, look, we're huge. The fact that you can get to interview anybody in that family is so cool, dude. I respect that. Maybe we will get to interview J Lo and ask her all about Ben Affleck.
I'd rather interview Ben Affleck.
He's cool. I watched Argo again the other night, and that one, what got me? The Accountant. Did you see him in The Accountant?
I don't think I saw that one.
You gotta watch The Accountant. Oh, and we just started. I just started. I was gonna talk to you about this today. It's on HBO. It's called. Oh shit! I just watched it. The ones that are left, or something like that.
Ooh.
Oh my god! It's got the dude that plays Mandalorian. What's his name? Oh come on, man! I'm gonna look it up. I'm annoyed now. It's on HBO. It's brand new. It's incredible. It's about this virus that takes over parts of the states. It's got a lot of COVID things.
Okay.
Oh, man, I'm gonna look up the title. I'm fucking annoying myself.
Yeah, look it up. I'll tell you what movie I love that he did. The Town.
Oh yeah, that was good too.
That was
The bank robber guy.
yeah.
Hey Siri, what's the new HBO series about the virus?
Here's what I found.
The Last of Us, it's called.
The Last of Us.
Yeah, it's about a pandemic. It's about there's this fungal like fungi, mushroomy thing, and somehow it's a virus and it attacks people, their nervous systems, and it's not a zombie movie.
Yeah.
But it's the way they tell the story. It's like, I can't handle another zombie movie. I can't do walking. It's exhausting. This is like it's got the greatest cast in it, but it's the way they tell it because they'll do the whole thing where they'll go back in time, they'll show you the scene and why it's happening, then they go back 13 years earlier, and it's really cool.
Okay.
But it's about a pandemic and the different years are going through it. It's really cool, and it takes place in the now. A lot of it's like in 2023 how they do it, and it's like huge reviews. It's great, man. Oh, it's so good, so good.
I was just thinking the last tidbit out of the Grammys.
Yeah.
A person that we've talked about a couple times, and the big thing that everybody's talking about is the appearance of this person, Madonna.
I did not see that.
Oh, you know what? Let me try to play with this real quick. I gotta see if I can pull this picture up and show you.
Show me a picture of her face,
dude.
And here's, let me just before we get in, I looked at her and I said, I love Madonna. With the way we love Madonna, right? And sometimes I'm always like, nobody can do. If you're an artist, you can do no wrong. I don't care who you are. If you made me feel a certain way, I will just. But I looked at that photo and I'm like, it reminded me of the lady that turned her face into a cat.
Yeah. Well,
and
this one
so smart, and she's so she's so articulate, and it's like, what the fuck is she doing?
I think I can figure out how to do this. Hold on.
It's like
share screen.
You should just get a mask.
Okay, hold on. Let me see here. Here we go.
I thought of that.
Let's see. Can I do it?
That's crazy.
All right. Oh, how do I get it up here?
It's her, but it's not. But it's still her. But it's not.
Add the stream. Here we go.
Well, she's in there.
I'm figuring this out. Wait. There you go. Let me see if I can.
What do you think? She had like everything done, huh?
Right?
It looks like a mask. It looks like one of those
like what?
China doll masks or something. That's weird, man.
It's freaking.
Huh.
So now the scary part is.
Wow.
Let me see. There we go. All right. So the scary part is, and actually, I wish I had my notes that I had written out from the last. We were supposed to go do a show last week or 2 weeks ago. She announced a tour for 2023, and I had the ticket prices. She's doing, I think, 4 nights at Madison Square Garden, and the prices. I think the cheapest seat in the house was like $262 for probably the last freaking seat in the back of Madison Square Garden, and the most expensive seat available was and this is through Ticketmaster. It was not through a ticket agency, through fucking Ticketmaster. 8th row on the floor was like $8,600.
I don't understand it, man. Like I said, we don't live in the same world we used to. No, I also feel bad. I don't like to do paid meet and greets. I think that's silly, but bands got to do them to survive. I know bands do that. Asking the fans, first of all, if you're going to pay $80,000 to see Madonna, you're going to deserve whatever you get when you get there. You know what I mean? That's a hardcore
Right.
thing. That's a level of shit that I can't even grasp. You got to really love somebody spend 80
Yeah.
fucking grand. Some people have that kind of money, so there's different layers of that fucking onion of that shit. I was talking to Scully, the guy we were just talking about, you know,
Hmm.
to support bands in general, to have these venues. A lot of venues in our country are closing, you know,
Yeah.
and you hear about closing, and it's hard, man. The way the business is just fucking raking bands, how you have to survive, and these fucking people are going out and getting 80 grand for a floor ticket. People that were on MTV and got into rotation have a
Hmm.
career. The bands that couldn't get on regular rotation are just in this underbelly of things, you know. But a world where the Grammys don't involve rock and roll, really. A world where it's 80 grand to go fucking see Madonna. A world where Bonnie Raitt is the top winner of the Grammys and not somebody who's in, you know, we live in a weird world now. It's a weird thing to be involved in music or just art in general. Art's changing, everything's changing. The one thing that hasn't changed is the way people feel when they're in a room live with an artist and they're connecting. You know,
Right.
so we still are trying to get to that. So whether it takes, you know, meet and greets to draw people in, fake Grammys, you know, whatever gets people juiced up to do something and want to watch, you want to get them to do, man. So that world of pop
Mhm.
culture, country music culture, that's like a big money league, and it's a different mindset, I think, than the rock and roll mindset. Because rock and roll is this cool live.
Since you brought it up, now I'm going to ask you because we've never talked about this topic, and it is truly a big moneymaker in this industry for bands. Um, paid meet and greets.
You're already
So you
asking
guys
me.
do not do that, or
We don't do that. No one's ever suggested it, right? So I'm in a very
okay,
democratic thing. You know, if the guys think it's a good idea and it was cool and it was a lot involved and the fans got a lot out of it and just came to meet you, you
hmm
know, then that's cool. But, you know, I've been to some shows where it's like I've seen some gigs where you do your sound check and people pay to come in and hang out with you and sort of hang with you in that way, and that's kind of special because that's kind of
right?
private. Well, not a lot of people get to do that.
Hmm.
I'm just, you know, I'm warming up to the fact that you're already getting people to pay money to come in the door. So if
Yeah,
they are willing to give up and part with their money and to do this extra stuff, then that's cool. As long as it makes them happy and it's a fair exchange. And what I mean is, you know, as long as you have time to do it and it doesn't make you crazy and there's enough time to do everything, the coolest thing you can do as a
yeah.
band is your fans. We do our when we're done playing, we get to the merch table as quickly as we can because we meet everybody. We will sit in line
Cool.
to do photos. And it's like till fucking 3:30 in the morning. I couldn't believe it. You know, I'm like, why are you all still here? You know, and it was the most humbling fucking thing. So any way I can to meet the friends of what we do, whether it's a meet and greet or late night at the merch
Hmm.
table, I'm all for it. So maybe I'm gonna say probably something I'd be down with if it was presented to me properly. You know, but I don't want to just take people's money,
Yeah,
you know, and not give them something really powerful in return. Not just say, how you doing? Here's a picture. Bye. You know, it's not like that. I don't like that. I think there has to be a way to really, if it's a VIP, then really experience the whole thing. Let's talk about, you know, you're gonna meet and greet. So come to the back, come backstage, go to the dressing room, you know, watch us get naked and get dressed, and throw away our dirty, smelly, sweaty clothes. And why don't you just go and do the laundry with the band? And
right,
matter of fact,
right.
and you can help us do laundry. You can help us carry gear. You want the real VIP experience?
There's the VIP experience to talk about.
Let's listen. Let's what else can we do? Oh, someone's got to make McDonald's run for French fries. Let's do that. You know, somebody find the cookie. Do that. Um, what else can we do? Oh, hide the water. Get all the water. Put them all together. Hide the water. Collect the beer. Collect the Coca Colas. I think the dirty clothes probably the best experience. You want to smell the rock and roll. You want? I think that's you got some merch can be dirty socks. No. But VIP experience means experience the whole thing, man. Come backstage, come see what it's like, and all that shit. Um, and connecting with friends this past couple weeks has just blown my mind. So there's no VIP thing. It's just come meet the fucking band. If you can get an extra layer, you probably will. I'm sure someone's going to talk me into doing this. I think I'm talking myself into doing it while I'm talking to you. So whatever it takes to get closer to the folks.
You just need some laundry done, right?
Yeah, man. Whatever it takes to get close to the folks. So, I really did. I got to tell you, man. It's just that I was so afraid of being tired. I was so worried about performing the next day that I keep forgetting I'm living in the moment.
Mm.
So I'm not fucked up. I'm not taking in every fucking beverage I can. I'm not smoking and inhaling everything again. I got time to hang out and talk shop. So I'd like to meet everybody, shake hands, kiss babies, take the photos. When I leave a building, I want to know that next time I come back, we can have a conversation like we know each other. It's not like, hey man, it's I know you. I met you last time. Thanks for coming to the show, man. We hug. It's a privilege, bro. It's a privilege.
I think that's but I think that's a big part of it too. Like, especially on that level where you're not charging, first of all, and it's more of a true, sincere experience for the fans. They're actually meeting you guys and you're connecting with people. And then, like you said, that's going to also bring back more fans because they're going to go be like, yo, man, you got to go see these guys. They were freaking awesome. They came out afterwards and they just hung out and bullshitted and they were truly sincere and cool. And
as you wind it up, you take it in the first time. As you wind it up, more people talk about it. There's more people involved. Word of mouth. These guys, you got to see these bands. Like, why should we go see them? They're just great live. I can't tell you. It just made me feel good. Okay, we sell a feeling. That's what it is. Every band has
we sell a feeling.
We're selling you a feeling, and what we're selling you is what we're feeling. So if I love my brothers, and we're feeling fucking like we're on top of the world, you're gonna feel like that. But you got to get in the room. Yeah. And you can't just sit in the room and not participate. You got to participate because, like, I'm not being Tony Robbins, but you got to fucking participate. The way that we all elevate ourselves through the music is to all take part of it. I know you're not going to sing every fucking word with me, but when you do, I want you to really enjoy it. You shouldn't think about anything when you're in the room. All the outside shit, looking cool, how hard you look, how great it shouldn't matter. You should just be in the fucking pocket with me. So all that stuff. I'm going on. You know what I mean.
All right, so let me ask you last question of the night. Let me ask you this then. On the flip side of instead of paid meet and greets, do you know what Patreon is?
No.
Okay, so Patreon is a website where you set up a kind of like it's a platform where you set up a membership for your fans to kind of like join like a special secret fan club, we'll say.
Okay.
And they pay like, you set the rate, $5, $10, $15 a month. You can set different tiers, and then depending on what they pay, they get these special perks each month.
I think I've heard of a version of that. I didn't know what it was called.
Yeah.
Some folks just call it drug dealing. I don't know. Anything lets people connect. I'm repeating myself. Anything that lets people connect more with you, as long as they get a lot out of it, I'm a fan of.
Right.
As long as there's something I don't have to pay attention to every minute of the day and make it put on my calendar, it takes time away from shit, but whatever, I'm all for the interactive thing. We live in an interactive world too. It's like we give and take. If it streamlines the process, but makes it, if it creates a better experience, I'm all for it. But if it's something that sort of creates distance, I'm not about doing that. I need to be connected. Whatever creates a better connection I'm down with that.
Cool. Cool. All right, so what's the next round of shows for Spread Eagle coming up? You got shows this weekend or?
I think no. Actually, we're off this week. We got one on the 18th. We got to go to Arby's.
Oh yeah, it's Super Bowl weekend.
Yeah, we got one in Arby's. Yeah, no rock and roll Super Bowl weekend. We got to go to Arby's in a place called Frenchtown, New Jersey. That's a really cool place. And
Okay.
the last New Jersey, what was cool about it was WMMR's Jackie Bam Bam came out. You know Jackie Bam Bam?
Of course.
Rock and roll's got its characters. We are blessed with Jackie Bam.
Jackie.
And Jackie's like around. He's tall, and
he's 6'4", 6 feet. He's a big dude.
No more than that. He's like whatever tree size. He's like that. Shake him a coconut. But what a sweet dude, man! And just the way he supports the band and talks us up. Man, it's great to hang out with him, and I hope he comes to Arby's because he's all over Jersey. He is Jersey. But man, what a great dude. So hopefully I'll see him again. That makes my night. He's a brother. He's just a brother, man.
Yes. Jackie, I mean, because that's from my area, from Philly. So I've known Jackie. I don't really know him personally, but I've known of him for many decades. And since he became a DJ, probably about 10 years ago on WMMR in Philly, 93.3, which is a long time rock staple in Philadelphia for probably 50 years now. Jackie truly supports the hard rock metal community, and really from day one that he was hired on WMR, he has always gone above and beyond to try to get that era of music its just due, and being able to play them and show his support for those bands and bands like yourself. It's a beautiful thing, and the world needs more Jackie Bam Bams across the country and across the world.
That's what I'm saying. And Jackie Bam represents what I'm talking about. We have to be loud. Jackie's got big personality in the best way, and he commands a room. But it's cats like that's what we do. So, and I think we have shows after. My point is, I hope people see Jackie Bam Bam again if we go back to Jersey. We're covering the Northeast quite a bit. I think there's shows after that. We got something in Houston. We have another Texas run, and I got to look it up. I don't know anything.
Did you know Jackie's old band from back in the day that he used to play around the Jersey, New York scene with? Jersey, New York.
I'm gonna say
actually, you probably do, yeah. The bass player, my buddy Little John from Rat Rod, he was wearing a shirt of the band that night. They played with you guys there.
Yeah, they were. Those guys are great. They were nice, man. Mike's real cool too. I like Mike. He's great. Yeah. Oh, what's something in the water? But there's.
It's funny.
I'm like Mike. He's a good dude, man.
The guitar player from Rat Rod called me the other day, and we were talking about after the show with you guys. We were talking, and he said, "Yeah," he said Mike was all happy and excited. Him and Ray hit it off, and they exchanged phone numbers and all.
Yeah, man. When I meet people, I don't want to be like I hate the whole I hate clicking with people, and then you don't see them again. You can't communicate. So I make sure if I think somebody's cool and I want to and they're on my frequency, hey man, let me have your number. Let's fucking go back and forth, man. I'm bugging Jackie Bam Bam all the fucking time, That's it. We got shows lined up. I'm sorry, off the top of my head, I don't know where they are. I know they are in the Northeast. We're doing another Texas run. We're setting up shows in the Midwest. We got some shows in Germany coming up. That's really cool. This Norway thing happens in September. I'm really excited about that. So I've never been. But Norway is a very expensive place to live and visit. So I got to save up my pennies for that one. But we got shows, man. It's a good. We're doing that. I'm trying to get this re-release of the solo material I did in around 2010. It's been remixed, and me and Miguel are working on that stuff too. So And
Nice.
that's important to me. That's important to me because as much as spread is important to me, something I could put my own signature on.
Hmm.
Spread's a big, it's a really big collaborative. And with Superfly, me and Miguel write everything, and that's our baby. So he's a great dude to write with, and I just love those 10 songs on that record. So I want to re-release it, and that's something I'm still working on too. So just to have it out there to make another something, something else like I can bank on, because I'm more than just one type of singer. I like to do
Hmm.
like lots of things. So and I have this other band in Miami called Magnificent Beast that we're gonna start recording with too. That's more heavy shit, but
Ooh.
a lot of the plate's good. But as far as spread, man, spread's just gonna keep rolling. We'll do whatever shows come our way. We're on a campaign to get people's attention because there's a fucking zillion bands vying for everyone's attention. But I know that when we work a room, we can get along with any bands that we work with. We're easy like that. We met a lot of cool bands over the past couple of weeks, and everybody's been great to us. So we pride ourselves in being able to be, easy to work with.
I got as when we go off air, I want to talk to you real quick about a show. Ask you about, but Jim Long said, "See you at a Trary's
Oh
and
wow,
Mount Holly. Mount Holly was great. What I don't know what a Trary's is. Is that a club or a city?
that's Artie's.
Oh, Artie's. Okay.
Yeah, people are like talking about this venue a lot, so I'm excited to play them. It's like you hear about venues, then you get there, and like the thing in Mount Holly, I was blown away by the amount of people that showed up. That blew my mind. I always think no one's going to show up. It's a terrible like thing that I do to myself, and maybe I do it to surprise myself. But every time we get to the club, it'll be we're doing sound checks at 6 o'clock. I'm like, no one's here, man. The great sound check. No one's going to be here. And then by the time we go on it's humbling when people actually come to see you play. Not just that when they
Yeah.
come and cheer you on and they stay with you. And nobody goes to the back in the middle of the set. They're all hanging in there and uh,
Mm-hmm.
they're all fighting. They want you to do well so that they do well, and you go together. As goes the band, goes the room. If the band's lame, the room's just gonna fucking sit there, right? And if the audience is sitting there, it's up to me to make you work. To want it. So it's cool. Going on and on about the same shit. It's good to rock, man.
Everybody go check out at Spread Eagle NYC on all the social media sites and follow. Make sure to find out where Ray, Rob, and the boys are going to be. Say hello to them after the show because they're going to be out there to meet and greet you and sign autographs and take pictures and talk shop.
And we
And
got
then
new merch shirts. So
nice.
yeah,
So there you go. All right, Ray, I want to thank you so much, as always, for being a brother, for being a co host, and most of all, being a friend.
nice man. Wakanda forever. The fuck was that about? Wakanda forever.
Until next week, everybody, we'll see you later. We'll be back next.
Later, boys and girls, and everybody else.